So good morning, and thanks a million for joining me on the mat this morning. This week's focus is on those happy hips, so hopefully they'll be a little bit happier by the end of this morning's class. We're going to, without talking too much, we're going to be creating space basically in the front of the hips and engagement and stability into those muscles that surround the hips, so particularly the glute muscles, the lower back. Again, something I want you to think about when we're working into our hips this morning is not to force it, okay? So particularly first thing in the morning, depending on how we've slept, what position we've slept in, what we've gone through so far this week, we could be holding a little bit of extra stress in those hips. So it's really important that we warm up into the hips before going too deep and not forcing it, okay? And particularly if one side is a little bit tighter than the other, acknowledge the imbalance, but don't force it to be the same. So it might be something that takes a little bit longer. Okay, so we're going to start in a nice easy cross-legged seat like we are, and again just notice where those knees are at. So if the hips are quite tight, those knees are going to be way up here, so hopefully by the end of the class they'll be way down here. And again, if you're working into your hip openers in your own time, you can always cushion underneath the knees or place little supports so that you can actually just sit into that pose and allow the soft tissue soften a little bit more. We're going to open the palms, sit nice and tall, relax the shoulders. Imagining that piece of string attached to the crown of your head and it's drawing you really tall toward the ceiling. So create as much space into the spine here as you can. And we'll inhale the arms out, reach up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and really stretch between the shoulder blades. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So a nice big stretch as we inhale, take the gaze up. And as we exhale, press forward and I'll do that 1 more time. Arms right back in line with the ear. Nice big stretch. And then exhale, press forward and release. So straight away we're going to soften into those hips. We're going to pick the right foot up and we're going to place it into the left hand. Draw the toe toward the knee to keep that lower leg engaged and then rest the knee into the right hand. Again, sitting as tall as we can. If we can, don't force it. We might bring the shin a little bit higher and we're just going to gently rock into that right hip. This is really slow, full controlled movement, and we're looking for range here. And just tuning into where those hips are from the start. Drawing the knee right back as far as feels good. So again, not forcing it. Those hands are just there guiding the movement. We draw that leg across the body. We're going to feel a nice little release into that right glute, hopefully. So again, nice and slow. Eventually, we're going to meet back at center. So we have options here. We can come back into easy cross-legged with the right leg on top. If you want to follow me into log pose, we're going to stack that right ankle on top of the left knee. And we're going to get that right knee to stack on top of the left ankle. Now, if that knee is way up here, so the hips might be a little bit too tight to go into log, come back into your easy cross-legged. If we're in log pose, we're drawing the toes toward the knees. Either way, we're sitting nice and tall. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. As we exhale this time, we're going to reach the arms forward and gently hinging from the waist. Reaching as far as we can go and then rest the hands out first. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, fold. And continue here with your own breath. Each inhale, we're lengthening. Each exhale, we're folding. Again, we shouldn't feel this in the knees, so keep drawing the toes toward the knees. This can be an easy cross-legged or log pose. And if folding is a little bit too much this morning, feel free to just sit nice and tall. You're still getting into those hips. Lengthening forward on the inhale, folding on the exhale. We'll take 2 more breaths here. I want you to really feel this into the hips and lower back. Nice little release into the glutes. 1 more breath. And then gently tuck the chin in, slowly walk those hands back toward the body. And then we can rest that right foot down. We're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to pick the left foot up, rest it into the right hand, draw the toe toward the knee. Catch hold of that knee with the left hand. Again, sit as tall as we can. Maybe bring the shin a little bit higher and then rock really slowly. And again, straight away noticing how that feels compared to the other side. Is it a little bit freer flowing? Is there a little bit more resistance to the movements? And sometimes just rocking and mobilizing into the hip can create that space. We might need to even do much more. So depending on where those hips are at, sometimes sometimes they just do need a little bit of extra movement to lubricate the joint first thing in the morning. And this is a really nice one to actually do in the morning, but without forcing. Okay, so nice and easy. And also if a stretch just feels like a wee bit too much, these mobilizers are a really nice way of working into the space. We're going to meet at center. And again, we can either come back into easy cross-legged with the left foot on top, or we can stack. So we're going to bring that left ankle to rest on the right knee, that left knee to rest on the right ankle, and draw the toes toward the knees. And just notice, so I'm already noticing there's a little bit more space here between my foot and my knees. So there's obviously something going on there. So again, tuning in with those little imbalances. Sitting as tall as we can, and we might stay here. This is enough in itself. Otherwise, we're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up. And as we exhale, gently stretch the arms forward, almost like somebody's pulling you at the fingertips, somebody's holding you at the waist, lengthening, 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 and then rest the hand side. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as we exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Continue here with your own breath, maybe even close down the eyes and just really tune in with those hips. And even here, noticing, are we able to fold a little bit deeper on one side and the other? So noticing those little niggles and balances before they become an issue. You can even rock into it a little bit. Sometimes just rocking the hips, rocking the body side to side helps soften out that soft tissue. Relax the breath, relax the head, relax the neck. We'll take one more breath. And then gently tuck the chin in, slowly walk those hands back toward the body. Bringing that left foot out, bringing that right foot out to meet it. And we're going to place those feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Bringing those hands behind us, fingertips point back. So like we did on Tuesday, we're going to inhale center. And as we exhale, drop both knees to the right as we look over the left. Inhale center, exhale knees to the left, look over the right shoulder. Draw those knees right down and continue with your own breath. We're breathing, inhale to the center and exhale, dropping those knees over, looking the opposite direction. So we're getting a little bit of spinal rotation into the upper back, into the neck. And if you want to challenge the core, you can always bring the hands to heart center. Same movement, just taking the support of the arms out of it. So we're really having to engage those lower core muscles a little bit more. You might start to find those sit bones shifting forward as we do so. You can try pressing the heels into the ground so that we're not coming forward too much. I'm going to do one more. Again, just mobilizing, mobilizing. Come back to center, shift your way back onto the mat if you've lost it. From here, we're going to bring the right shin parallel to the front edge of the mat, and we're going to bring that left foot behind us. We're going to bring the knee until it's in line with that right hip. So we're coming into our 90-90 degree legs. Draw the toe toward the knee, bringing that left foot back and the lower leg out. So we've got lovely square angles at all the joints here. Ankle, knee, hip, both front and back. We'll probably find that we're falling over to the right a wee bit. So we're going to press the ground away with the finger pads, place the left finger pads down, and then see if we can just lift that right hip, get nice and comfortable, and then readjust. So we should be maybe not falling over so much. And we're just going to sit here, nice and strong. Inhale, lengthening, exhale, allow those hips sink, pressing the inner left leg into the ground. Seeing here if we can pick that left foot off the ground. So seeing how those glutes are firing this morning, and then we're going to rest the foot down. Inhale, pick the left knee up as high as we can. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, pick the foot up. Exhale, release. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, release. And continue with your own breath. So again, just rocking into that hip joint. So we're looking for movement here. As much movement, as much space, as much freedom as we can. We are going for engagement, so it will take a little bit of engagement to get that foot to come off the ground. But even just to start with, making that mind-body connection. So maybe the foot's not lifting now, but the more times we try, we need to bring that focus, particularly if it's an area of the body that maybe we haven't been bringing that focus to for a while. And then relax. And we're going to do the exact same on the opposite side. So we're going to bring that left shin so it's parallel to the front edge of the mat. Bringing that right foot behind us. Again, adjusting the feet. So we've got 90-degree angles at the ankles, at the knee, at the hip. That left knee is in line with the left hip. And again, we're probably going to find we're falling over to the left. So again, finger pads on the ground, left and right. Pressing the ground away, see if you can lift the hip. Just give the hips a little shake so that we kind of naturally land on that center of gravity. So we're not falling so much over to the left. And again, we can stay here. This is enough in itself. You don't need to bring any little lifts or movements here. Pressing the inner right thigh into the ground. So this is our 90-degree legs, and something that we might revisit later when we're going into our pigeon. So if pigeon feels too strong, this is where we come back to, if you want to remember the pose. We're going to inhale, try to pick that right foot off the ground. Exhale, lower. Inhale, pick that right knee off the ground, and exhale, lower. And continue with your own breath. So try not to collapse as much as we can. Stay light in those arms. Staying strong in the core. But just bringing a little bit of extra focus into that right hip joint. Again, don't force it. We're just looking for movement here. Engagement and release, but again, easy, easy. And notice if it's a wee bit easier, one side more so than the other. We'll do one more. One last knee lift. And then relax. We're going to bring that right foot slowly around to meet the left. And then from here, we're going to come to lie down on the ground. Just make sure you have your block and your strap there within reach. Knees are bent, feet are flat to start with. We're going to hug the right knee and give it a nice squeeze, and then rest that right ankle just above the left knee, coming right into our figure four. Run the toe toward the knee, pressing the lower back into the ground. We're going to lift the left foot off the ground, shin parallel to the ceiling. And either interlocking fingers or wrapping our strap around the back of that left hamstring. We're going to inhale, walk the shoulder blades together, really opening into the heart. And as we exhale, draw the left knee a little bit closer toward the face as we press the right knee away from the body. Keep drawing those right toes toward the knees. So we're keeping that lower leg super active, and we should really feel this into the right hip. Really nice one if you ever suffer from sciatica. It's not going to cure it, but it'll definitely help free up some of the soft tissue that could be pinching on that nerve. Relax the heart, relax the shoulders. Keep drawing that left knee in. Nice big belly breaths in and out through the nose. So not doing too much movement here, just really focusing in on that hip. One more breath. And then gently release the left foot to the ground. We're going to cross the right leg fully over left. Extending both arms out in line with the shoulders, palms down. We're going to shift the hips a little bit to the right, and then allow both knees drop over to the left, coming into a lovely spinal twist. Gaze goes over the right fingertips. Both shoulders are literally glued to the ground. If we find we're not fully getting into that twist, just shift the hips a wee bit more to the right, creating some more space for those legs to fall over. Nice big belly breaths here. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the front of the left hip, you can always walk that left foot out a wee bit further and maybe even catch hold of the front of the foot with the hand or wrap a strap around it. Still drawing that right knee across the body, still drawing that right shoulder down. Nice big belly breaths for 3. For 2. And release the right arm back out, slowly coming back to center, staying in our easy crisscross legs. Draw the belly in. We're going to hug both knees into the chest, either interlocking fingers around the right knee, or left shin, or we might catch hold of the front of the ankles and work the heels away from each other, really feeling that into the right glute. Relax the shoulders to the ground, connect the full end of the spine to the ground. Draw the belly in, see if we can hug those knees a little bit tighter in toward the chest. And if we want a little bit of upper core, we're going to inhale, press the chest toward the ceiling so that the head lifts without putting any stress on the actual neck. Holding it here, relax the shoulders, really drawing those knees in, maybe even to touch the chin if the head is off the ground for 3. For 2. And 1, release the head, release the feet all the way down to the ground. We're going to uncross the legs. Hug the left knee in, give it a nice little squeeze into the body. We're going to rest that left ankle just above the right knee. Drawing the toes toward the knee, press the knee away from the body, ground that lower back. Inhale, lift the right foot off the ground. Shin parallel to the ceiling, right foot is fully relaxed, left foot is engaged. Interlock fingers or strap around the back of that right hamstring. And as we inhale, gently peel those shoulder blades together. Feel the space in the heart. And as we exhale, work the right knee a little bit closer toward the face as we press the left knee away from the body. And feel free not to pick the foot off the ground. So again, you might already be at enough space with those feet on the ground and just pressing that left knee away, trying to create a wee bit more space. So again, don't force it. Go to what feels good for you. And then if the body and the breath want to go a little bit further, they will be sure to let you know. So that we don't need to force these things. Relax the breath. Nice big belly breath. Feeling the whole length of the body here. Trying to create a little bit more space in our abdominal cavity for that breath. One more breath. And then gently release the right foot to the ground. We're going to cross the left leg softly over the right. Extend both arms out in line with the shoulders, palms down. We'll shift the hips a little bit to the left this time. And then allow both knees drop over to the right. Looking over the left shoulder, keeping that left shoulder glued to the ground. So if it's not, place it down, even if it means lifting the knees. We might need to shift our hips a little bit more to the left. And ideally, if we look down, we should be able to see the left hip stacked on top of the right as much as we can down the center line of the mat. So that's where we know we're in our full twist. So that's twisting the full length of the spine. So often, if we're lying kind of sideways across the mat, we're really only getting from mid or upper spine up. So if we can align those joints down the midline of the mat, we get a little bit more into that lower back. If we want to go deeper into the right hip, we can walk the right heel a little bit further to the left, and we might even catch hold of the foot with a hand or wrap a strap around it. Keep drawing the left shoulder down. Keep drawing the left knee across the body and just feeling a little bonus release into the front of that right hip and quad. For 3, for 2, and 1. Extend the left arm back out, slowly inhaling back to center. Staying where we are in our crisscross legs. We're going to draw the belly in and gently hug those knees into the chest. Interlocking fingers around the left knee, right chin, or catching hold of the front of the ankles. And working those heels as far away from each other as we can, really feeling that into the left glute. Relax the shoulders. Draw the belly in, create a wee bit more space to hug those knees in. And if you want a little bit of upper core, inhale, lift the chest. So again, we're not lifting at the neck, we're lifting at the chest, pressing the chest toward the ceiling. Head will automatically come off the ground. Hugging those knees in, nice and strong for 3. Relax the arms for 2. And 1. Gently release the head, gently release the feet all the way down to the ground. We're going to uncross the legs. And then from here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Pressing the soles of the feet together, allow the knees drop out, and just notice if there's a wee bit of space in that lower back. We're going to shift the shoulder blades up until we connect the full length of the spine to the ground. So even if those knees pop up a little bit, I want you to make sure, particularly that lower back is supported. Hands rest on the inner thighs. So we're not pressing the thighs down, but even just that extra bit of weight and consciousness to the hip area. Relax the shoulders to the ground. We're going to inhale, nice big belly breath, bringing it into the rib cage, into the chest. And as we exhale, see if we can allow those knees drop out a little bit more, relaxing into that hip space. And we can stay here for the next couple of breaths, or if we want to challenge it, we're going to come into our diamond pose bridge. So if we're going there, we can bring the hands to the ground. Fingertips point to the front of the mat. We're going to press the outer blades of the feet into the ground. Gently inhale, peel the lower, middle, and upper back off the ground. So this can be intense. Don't feel you have to go there. If we're in our bridge, we're going to walk the shoulder blades together, taking the pressure off the head and neck. So again, we're lifting the hips. We're allowing the knees drop out. So this is just even giving us a little bit more space to allow those knees drop out. Draw the belly in so we're not dumping into that lower back. And we're only going to hold it here for 3. For 2. And 1. Release all the way down to the ground. Nice and easy here. We're going to hug both knees into the chest. Nice little squeeze. And then we're going to crisscross the ankles. Options here to make your way anyway to seat, or you can rock and roll with me. Just the one time. Forward and back along the mat. Slowly bringing ourselves forward into a nice strong seat here. From here, hands come forward. We're going to step back onto the knees into a nice strong tabletop. Shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, fingers are spread, knees hip width distance apart, toes can be tucked or untucked. Notice that the belly's collapsed here. I want you to draw the belly button in until you feel those lower back muscles engage. We're going to inhale, press the chest forward as we take the gaze up and arch the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back toward the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, really tuck the chin to the chest, and continue with your own breath. Nice little cat-cow curls. Mobilizing, creating as much space and mobility, the full length of the spine. I want you to really exaggerate pressing the hands and arms into the ground, so we're really expanding into the rib cage, in between those shoulder blades, into the heart center. So again, creating as much space into our breathing cavity as we can, increasing our capacity to breathe. One of our most important things that we do with our body. There's a word there, it's just gone. Enjoying that flow process. We're going to meet back in our tabletop when you're ready. Nice and strong here. We're going to walk the hands forward. Tuck the toes under. We're going to sit back toward the heels into a little variation in our child's pose. Relax the head toward the ground. Pressing the ground away, try to get those sit bones back a little bit further. And we're going to do our little upward, downward dog flow like we visited on Tuesday. So we're going to look forward between the hands. Gently, we're going to press our way up into our downward dog. Allow those heels release. Hips are nice and high. We're pressing the ground away. So looking forward, we're going to inhale all the way forward into plank until those shoulders are stacked over the wrists. Then we're going to press into the ground, draw the shoulders back and take the gaze up. So a variation of upward dog, but those toes are tucked under. As we exhale, lift the hips, press back into our downward dog. Inhale all the way forward into plank, nice and strong. Open the heart, really strong in the shoulders. Exhale, press the ground away, lift the hips, downward dog, and continue with your own breath. Again, if at any stage you need to come down onto the knees, listen to the body. This is quite strong in the arms and shoulders. So I don't want you to feel that you're collapsing into those shoulders at any stage. If you are, please come down onto the knees. And you can work from child's pose instead of downward dog. Relax the breath. Maybe close down the eyes and really tune in with that movement. Enjoy the movement for what it is. So we're going to meet in our downward dog, wherever we are. Looking forward between the hands. We're going to gently paddle away to the front of the mat. Come into a nice wide-legged forward fold. Bring those fingertips centered between the feet, but that we want a nice length in behind the legs and a nice length in the spine. So again, you can place the block between the feet either if you need a little bit more length in those arms. So we're trying not to round into the upper spine here. So bring the feet as wide as you need. Weight is back into the heels and hips, so we should feel a nice little release into the backs of the legs and also into the hips before we even start. Left fingertips to the center of the mat. We're going to inhale the right arm up, opening the heart. We're going to bend the right elbow, place the back of the hand to the lower back, and see if we can use that connection to draw that right shoulder back a little bit more as we take the gaze up for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, release. Right hand to the ground. We're going to inhale, left arm up and open the heart. Bend the left elbow, bring the back of the hand to rest at the lower back. Use that connection to feel that left shoulder back a little bit more for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, release. A little bit lower. Inhale, right arm up and open the heart, reaching through the fingers. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart, nice and wide. Exhale, release. Continue with your own breath. That hand on the ground, we're pressing the finger pads into the ground, giving ourselves a little bit more leverage into the twist each time. And again, if you notice those knees are bent, bring the feet a little bit wider apart or use our block. So we are trying to create a little bit of space here into the hips, into those inner thighs, and a little bit into the backs of the legs without overdoing it. Following that extended arm with the gaze. Lovely little mobilization of the lower back here as well. We're going to do 2 more, one each side. Relax fully into our fold, head, neck, arms, shoulders release. We're going to tuck the chin in and slowly roll our way all the way up to stand. Head comes up last, and then gently walk the feet toward each other. Take a little drink here if you need. We're going to get nice and flowy for the rest of our class this morning. And then when you're ready, we're going to meet at the front of the mat. Feet nicely grounded, about hip width distance apart. Feeding all corners of the feet into the ground, so really rooting our foundations here. Hands together at heart center. Relax the shoulders. Draw the belly in, lengthening through the spine. Gaze is forward. So find our drishti point out in front, our point of focus for the flow. We're going to inhale the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to chin. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hand stays in the ground. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart, take the gaze up. Exhale, left hand back to the ground. We're going to drop the right heel down. Pressing the feet into the ground, we're going to bring ourselves up into a warrior lunge. Extend the arms, palms face down. We're going to bend into the left knee. We're going to pause here in our warrior. Just notice that left knee, we want it to be pointed forward. If there's any little imbalance in the hips, it's going to collapse into the right. So we're trying to engage that left hip. Nice relaxed shoulders. Gaze is toward that middle finger. We're going to inhale, draw the belly in. And as we exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten the leg, bring the arms together overhead. Gaze goes up. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the arms, warrior lunge. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, bend the knee, lunge. 1 more. Nice and controlled. Lovely. We're going to straighten the left leg. Inhale here, look forward, and as we exhale, reach those left fingertips as far forward as we can possibly go. Bringing the back of the hand to rest at the inner leg. And extend that right arm up toward the ceiling. Notice if we're collapsing forward into the body, just bring the hand a little bit higher so we can really press those hips forward and draw the shoulder back. Gaze is up for 3. For 2. And 1. Right hand comes to the hip. We're going to bend the left knee. We can either rest that left forearm onto the leg, or we can reach with the left fingertips toward the ankle, or maybe all the way toward the ground. Just try not to collapse. Opening into the heart and left hip here for 3. Gaze is up for 2. And 1. Inhale, press away back into our warrior. Knee is still bent. Cartwheeling both hands down either side of the left foot. Coming on to the ball of the right, and we're going to release that right knee down. Inhale, both arms out, reach it up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. At this point, cushion that right knee if you need to. We're going to interlock fingers, place them just above the left knee. Inhale, lengthen, draw the belly in. Exhale, sink the hips. We'll do that twice more. Keeping the left knee stacked over the ankle. All that movement is at the hips. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. Excellent. We're going to open the arms into cactus arms. Nice little bit of heart space here. Pressing the left heel into the ground, we're going to straighten the leg, draw the toes toward the face and touch the fingertips down. So a little bit into the hamstring here. Notice if we're feeling that stretch anywhere other than the belly, the muscle. Keep a nice little softness bend to that left knee. As we exhale, we're going to bend the left knee, open the arms, cactus lunge, deepening into those hips. Inhale, lengthen forward, touch the fingers down, draw the toe toward the face. Exhale, bend the left knee, cactus lunge, and continue with your own breath. Again, if the movement feels a wee bit too much this morning, feel free to pause in any part of the movement and just work into that space. Our real focus here is those hips this morning. So particularly as we move forward into our cactus lunge, even sing for an extra couple of breaths here if it feels good. Taking the gaze forward all the time. So sometimes we have a tendency as we straighten that leg to look back toward the belly, but then we're going to be collapsing into that lovely chest that we're trying to open. So try to keep that point, fixed point of focus out in front. Relax the breath. We're going to do one more wherever we are, and we're going to meet back in our cactus lunge. Excellent. We're going to frame the left foot with both hands, coming off the right knee and just allowing those hips sink toward the ground for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently shift the body weight forward. We're going to bring the right foot up to meet left and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, left hand stays in the ground. We're going to inhale the right arm up and open the heart nice and wide. Exhale, right hand back to the mat. Dropping that left heel down. We're going to engage the core and make our way into our warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, pausing here. That right heel is bisecting the arch of the back foot. We're pressing the outer blade of that foot strongly into the ground. We're going to inhale, relax the shoulders. And as we exhale, sink a little bit deeper into those hips. Inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead, palms together, look up. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior lunge. 3 more to your own breath. Again, following the middle right finger with the gaze, if you want to challenge the balance. Relax the shoulders, lengthening through the crown of the head. Last one. Kneeling in our warrior lunge. We're going to inhale, straighten the right leg. Looking forward as we exhale, reach those fingertips as far forward as we can. Bringing the back of the hand to rest at the inner leg and extending that left arm up toward the ceiling to keep the gaze up. Press the hips forward, draw the left shoulder back. See if we can creep those fingertips a little bit closer toward the ankle without collapsing the body for 3. For 2. And 1. Left hand comes to the waist. We're going to soften the right knee until the knee is stacked over the ankle. We can either rest the right forearm on the front leg, drawing the left shoulder back, or we could reach those right fingertips toward the inner ankle or toward a block if we have it. So we can always place that inside the ankle or all the way down toward the ground. So important here, we're not collapsing into the body, pressing the hips to the left, opening that shoulder to the right for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale all the way back into our warrior. Exhale, cartwheel both hands down either side of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left. Release that left knee down. Pat it if you need. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them just above the right knee. Inhale, lengthen tall, relax the shoulders. Exhale, sink the hips. 2 more here. Really feeling that into the front of the left hip and into that right hip, a little bit into the hamstring. Keep drawing the belly in. Nice engagement with the core. We're going to meet in our low lunge and we're going to open those arms into our cactus. Draw the shoulder blades together. Pressing that right heel into the ground, we're going to straighten the right leg. Draw the toes toward the face and touch the fingertips down. Again, listen to that right hamstring. Maybe soften the knee if we need to. Exhale, bend the right knee. Open the arms, cactus lunge. Inhale, lengthen forward, touch the fingers down. Exhale, cactus lunge, and continue with your own breath. Again, gaze is out front. Cushion that left knee if it's any way uncomfortable. And when we're touching the fingertips down, if it's quite difficult to get them down, and if we have 2 blocks or 2 block-like objects, we can always place them by the sides and touch them, okay? So try to keep that length and that space into the heart and spine as much as we can. Slow the movement right down, so we're really consciously moving. We're not just relying on that pendulum effect of the body. Pressing the heel into the ground, we should feel those hamstrings activate. So nice and strong here. We're going to do one more. We're going to meet in our cactus lunge on our next round, wherever we are. And then we're going to frame the right foot with both hands coming off the left knee. Again, allow those hips sink for 3. For 2. And 1. Shift the body weight slightly forward. We're going to pick the left foot up to meet right and exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a little drink here if you need. We're going to move into a second round. Lovely. When you're ready, moving off the front of the mat, feet nicely grounded. Hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath, drawing the belly in. We'll inhale, the arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hand on the ground. We'll inhale, left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, left hand back to the mat. Dropping the right heel down. Engage the core up into our warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, bending into that left knee. Gazes forward. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Arms together overhead. Exhale, bend the left knee. Warrior lunge. 2 more. Keep drawing the belly in. Nice and strong here. 1 more. Meeting in our warrior, we're going to inhale, straighten the left leg, and as we exhale, reach those left fingertips as far forward as we can go, resting the back of the hand to the inner leg. Extend the right arm up, take the gaze up. As we inhale, stretch through the right arm. As we exhale, reach those fingertips toward the ground. Keep pressing those hips forward for 3. For 2. And 1, bending the left knee, right hand on the waist. Left forearm either on the thigh or reaching those left fingertips toward the ankle or toward the ground. Opening that right shoulder for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale all the way back up into our warrior. Extend the arms. Exhale, cartwheel both hands down either side of the left foot. Coming onto the ball of the right. We're going to release that right knee down. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart, interlock fingers, place them above the knee. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, sink the hips. 2 more. Gazes forward, shoulders relaxed. 1 more. Opening those arms into our cactus. We're going to inhale, straighten the left leg, draw the toes toward the face, touch the fingers down, gaze forward. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the arms, cactus lunge, and continue. 3 more. Using that left heel as our pivot point, pressing it strongly into the ground, keeping the heart open, shoulders relaxed. Nice and slow. Last one, wherever we are, and we're going to meet back in our cactus lunge. Framing the left foot with both hands. We're going to come off the right knee and just release into the hips here for 3. For 2. And 1. We're going to walk those finger pads about half a foot out in front. Gently shift the body weight forward. Draw that right toe toward the knee, and we're going to lift that right knee. If we need a little bit more lift, we can always catch hold of the wall or a table in front and just focus on engaging with that right hip for 3. For 2. And 1. Release the hands, release the right foot, and slowly exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to your center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, left hand is on the ground. Inhale, right arm up, open the heart. Exhale, right hand back to the mat. Drop the left heel down. Engage the core, warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, bending into that right knee, gaze forward. Inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior lunge. 2 more. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath, engage the core. Last one. Meeting inner warrior. We're going to straighten the right leg. Inhale here, and as we exhale, reach those right fingertips far forward. We're going to bring the back of the hand to rest of the inner leg. Extend the left arm up, press the hips forward, draw that shoulder back. Inhale, reach through the left fingertips. Exhale, reach those right fingertips a little bit closer toward the ground. You can use a block here again if you wish. Place to get to the inner ankle for 3. For 2. And 1. Left hand comes to the waist, bending the right knee, either resting the forearm on the front leg or reaching those fingertips toward the ankle or all the way toward the ground. Keep drawing the left shoulder back for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale back into our warrior. Exhale, cartwheel both hands down either side of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left. Resting that left knee down, cushion it if you need to. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart, into that finger space in above the knee. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, sink the hips. 2 more here. Relaxing that hip space a little bit more each time with the breath. 1 more. Opening those arms out into cactus. We're going to inhale, straighten the right leg, draw the toes toward the face, touch the fingertips down, gazes forward. Exhale, bend the right knee, cactus lunge. We do that 3 more times. Again, actively pressing that right heel into the ground, listening to those hamstrings. Heart is open, gaze is forward all the time. Slow it right down. 1 more. We're going to meet in our cactus lunge. And then we're going to frame the right foot with both hands. Coming off the left knee, just allow the hips sink here for 3. For 2. And 1. Walking the finger pads forward, about half a foot out in front. We're going to gently shift the body weight forward. Draw the left toe toward the knee and see if we can lift that left heel toward the ceiling. You can use a wall or a table if you wish. If you want to challenge the balance, you can always hover the hands off the ground or open into airplane, but make sure that left leg is lifted. That's our main focus here, is getting that left glute engaged. 1 more breath. And then gently release the hands, gently release the left foot. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands. Well done. Take a drink if you need. We've got 1 more round to do, so hopefully those hips are feeling a little bit more spacious. Those glutes are feeling a little bit more switched on. When you're ready, we're going to meet at the front. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, hands to heart. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath, soften the face. Inhale the arms out, reach it up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping right foot back to lunge, right hand stays grounded. Inhale, left arm up and open the heart. Exhale, left hand back to the ground. We're going to drop that right heel down, engage the core, make our way into our warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, softening into that left knee. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together overhead, gaze up. Exhale, bend the left knee, warrior lunge. 2 more. Following that middle left finger with the gaze, if you're looking for a challenge. 1 more. That left knee is pointed forward all the time. Meeting in our warrior, we're going to rest the right hand on the back leg, keeping the left knee bent. We'll inhale, left arm up, flip the palm, and as we exhale, reach the left arm to the back of the room, looking over the shoulder or up toward that left middle finger, feeling that into the hips for 3, for 2, And one, inhale back to warrior. As we exhale, straighten that leg. Inhale, gaze goes forward. As we exhale, reach the left fingertips far forward. We're going to bring the back of the hand to rest of the inner leg. Extend that right arm up, holding it here as we take the gaze up for 3. Press the hips forward for 2. And 1, right hand comes to the waist. We're going to bend into the left knee. Left forearm rests on the thigh, or maybe reach those fingertips toward the ankle or all the way toward the ground. If we want to go a little bit further, we might get that right hand, catch hold of the upper inner thigh. Or if we want to go further again, we might bend the left elbow and bring that left arm underneath the thigh and catch hold of that right hand. Wherever we are, look up for 3. Open the heart for 2. And 1. Inhale all the way back into our warrior. As we exhale, cartwheel both hands down either side of the left foot. Coming onto the ball of the right, we're going to release that right knee down. Cushion it if you need. Inhale both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart into that fingers, place them above the knee. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, sink the hips. 2 more breaths here. Keep drawing the belly in so we're not collapsing into that lower back. Relax the shoulders, gazes forward. Meeting in our low lunge, opening those arms into cactus. Inhale, straighten the left leg, draw the toes toward the face, touch the fingertips down, look forward. Exhale, bend the knee, open the arms, cactus lunge. 3 more. So again, each time we go into our cactus lunge, see if there's a little bit more give. Without forcing it, just allow the body weight and the breath bring us there. Again, gaze is forward, heart is open all the time. Last one. Meeting in our cactus lunge, we're going to frame the left foot with both hands coming off the right knee, pressing back to the right heel. Release the hips for 3. For 2. And 1, walk those finger pads forward, half a foot, gently shift the body weight forward. We're going to lift that right heel. Again, option to hold on to the wall. We might float the fingertips, or we might open into our airplane, lifting that back heel for 3. For 2. And 1. Hands come to the ground, right foot back to meet left. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, last side. Swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping left foot back to lunge, left hand on the ground. Inhale, right arm up and open the heart. Exhale, frame the foot. Dropping the left heel down. Engage the core up into a warrior. Extend the arms, palms face down, bending into that right knee. We're going to inhale, straighten the right leg. Arms together overhead, gaze up. Exhale, bend the right knee. Warrior lunge. 2 more. Drawing those inner thighs toward each other. Nice and strong in the hips. Last one. Staying in our warrior lunge, we're going to rest the left hand on the back, keeping that right knee bent. We'll inhale the right arm up, flip the palm, and as we exhale, reach the right arm behind us, looking over the shoulder or up toward that middle right finger for 3. For 2. And 1. Inhale back to warrior center. As we exhale, straighten the right leg. Inhale, gaze goes forward. As we exhale, reach those right fingertips as far forward as we can go. Bringing the back of the hand to rest of the inner leg. Extend the left arm up. Taking the gaze up. Holding it here. Pressing the hips forward for 3. For 2. And 1. Left hand comes to the waist. Bending the right knee into the stacked over the ankle. Again, forearm onto the thigh. Maybe reaching those fingertips toward the ankle. Maybe toward the ground. We might get that left hand and hook it to the little crease at the top of the right leg. Using that to open the heart. Or a last variation, leaning in a little bit, we're going to bend the right elbow, bring that right forearm underneath the leg, and then see if we can interlock the hands. So keep drawing the left shoulder back for 3. Gaze is up for 2. And 1. Inhale, back to warrior. Exhale, cartwheel both hands down either side of the right foot, coming on to the ball of the left. Gently release the left knee to the ground, cushion it if you need. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Interlock fingers, place them above the right knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. 2 more breaths here. Again, that right knee is stacked over the ankle. Movement from the hips. Last one. Meeting in our low lunge, opening those arms into cactus. Gaze fixed forward. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Draw the toes toward the face. Touch the fingers down. Exhale, bend the right knee. Open the arms. Cactus lunge. 3 more. Again, pivoting off that right heel. Nice and strong in those hamstrings. 2 more. Trying not to collapse into the chest here. Keeping the heart up. Last one. Meeting in our cactus lunge. We're going to frame the right foot with both hands. Coming off the left knee, press back through the heel. Release the hips for 3. For 2. And 1. Walking those hands forward about half a foot gently. Shift the body weight forward until we can lift that left heel toward the ceiling as high as we can go. So we have full engagement here. Maybe hover the fingertips off the ground, maybe open into our airplane. But the real focus here is on getting that leg to lift for 3. Draw the belly in for 2. And 1. Hands come back to the ground. This time, we're going to step back onto the ball of the left foot. Both hands are on the ground. Step the right foot back to meet. And then we're going to lift the hips into our downward dog and just gently walk it out here. Allowing opposite heels melt softly toward the ground. Nice and easy. Nearly there. Relax the head, relax the neck. We're going to come to stillness here. And then inhale the right leg up, looking forward. We're going to bend the right knee. And we're going to place it behind the right wrist. Doing as many moves as you need. And when we get it there, we're going to untuck the left toe, releasing the knee to the ground and walking that foot back as far as we can. And then we're going to walk those hands back in line with the hips. So again, just notice that right shin. Draw the toe toward the knee. We're looking for an angle anywhere between 30 to 45 degrees to the front of the mat. If you've been working into pigeon and you want to bring it shallower, by all means do, but for most that's enough. So press it into the ground, allow those hips sink. Draw the belly in, and again, this might be enough. If it feels particularly uncomfortable, feel free to come back into 90 degree legs like we did at the start. And if we want to release a little bit more into those hips, we're going to gently walk the hands forward. Coming first onto the forearms, this might be enough. Allow both hips sink toward the ground. So we're not falling over to the right. Keep pressing that left hip down too. If we want to go deeper, we might extend the arms out in front and rest the forehead to the ground or to a block. Or we might make a little pillow by tying one hand or one fist on top of the other and resting the forehead. We're going to stay here for about a minute. So I want you to find a space that you feel quite comfortable releasing into. If we're feeling it on the knee, draw the toe, that right toe toward the knee. If we're still feeling it on the knee, I'd probably encourage you to come into your 90 degree legs. So that would be with the right shin parallel to the front edge of the mat. We're still getting a hip opener. We're just working into slightly different muscles, but we're still getting that lovely space. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath, relax the belly. Relax the eyes, close them down, and just really notice where we're feeling that space. So then the heart melts, the belly melts. And again, don't feel that you have to be folding forward. Feel free to stay back up in your proud pigeon and work into that lovely heart opener as well as the hips. So we should be really feeling this into the right hip. Tiny little bit into the left as we press the left hip toward the ground, but predominantly that way. Nice big belly breath, breathing through the pose. Softening with each exhale. Just a couple of more breaths on this side. We're nearly there. When you're ready, we're going to tuck the chin in. We're going to come back up onto the forearms if we're not there already. And then we're going to come back up onto the hands, gently walking them toward the body. Flattening the hands, we're going to tuck the left toe under, come off the knee, and really slowly, we're going to bring that right foot back to meet left. Lifting the hips and walking it out, nice and easy, in our downward dog or any other variation that feels good for you. So just get a wee bit more blood flow back into that right limb. Nice and meeting in stillness in our downward dog. We're going to inhale the left leg up. Looking forward, we're going to bend the left knee and we're going to place it all the way behind that left wrist. Resting the shin down, resting the right knee down on top of the toe, and walk that right foot back as far as feels good. We're going to draw that toe toward the knee, keeping that lower leg engaged. And again, an angle of about 30 to 45 degrees to the front of the mat. Anything shallower, if it works for you, that's fine. If this isn't working for you, please come into your 90-degree legs with that left shin parallel to the front edge. Relax the shoulders, sinking through the hips. Nice and easy here. Draw the belly in. So try not to collapse over to the left. We're still pressing that right hip down. If that feels good, we want to relax a little bit more into the space. We can also walk the hands forward. Coming down onto the forearms, either on or off a block. If we want to go deeper, and again, you do not have to, we can extend the arms out, resting the forehead to the ground or to a block. Or we might make a little pillow by piling one hand or one fist on top of the other and just resting the forehead here. Again, notice if we're collapsing over to the left, pressing that right hip down. And again, we can fall forward also in our 90-degree legs. So don't feel that you have to stay sitting up like we did at the start of the class. You can also relax forward into those hips. Relax the breath, relax the shoulders, close down the eyes, and just really tune into what's going on with that left hip. Noticing, is it a little bit freer than the other side? Is it a wee bit more restricted? So again, just tuning in, not battling it, not forcing one side to do what the other side did, but just noticing, acknowledging, maybe it's something we need to address. Relax the breath. Nice big belly breaths. Allow the belly sink toward the ground. Just a couple of more breaths on this side. We're nearly there. Being with the pose. Breathing into that space. One more breath. We're going to tuck the chin in. Slowly come back up onto the forearms if we're not there or higher already. And then we're going to slowly bring those hands back to the ground. Lengthening the arms, we're going to tuck the right toe under, come off the right knee, and really slowly bring the left foot around to meet right. One last time, we're going to walk it out in our downward dog, taking any variations that you feel good. So again, sometimes I like to catch hold of the front edges of the mat and just work a little bit more heart space to finish. Lift the hips. Relax into our downward dog. So take any pose that feels good. We might be already in our child's pose. So listen to your body. Just get a wee bit more blood flow here. And then coming to stillness. We're going to release down onto the knees. Bring the big toes to touch. Walk those knees nice and wide. And then we're going to sit all the way back toward the heels. Again, making a little pillow by patting one hand or one fist on top of the other and rest the forehead, or we can use a block. And again, if it's too much on the knees, feel free to lift the hips a little bit. You can always cushion underneath the knees. But for now, we're just going to pause here. Gently rocking the hips side to side, easing out any last little bit of tension that we're holding on to in that hip space. Be it physical, be it emotional, just letting it all go. Maybe rocking the head a wee bit, massaging out the forehead, nice and easy. Just feeling good within our bodies this morning. Softening, releasing. Coming to full stillness here in our wide-legged child's pose, and just take a couple of moments to tune in with your breath. Notice if we're holding it, maybe it's caught up in the chest, and just draw it nice and deep down into the belly. Move it up through the rib cage, into the chest, through the neck. And as you exhale, just release, sigh it out, and let it go. We'll take one more breath here before we finish. Nice full body breath, breathing in all the good stuff and sighing out all of that. And then when you're ready, in your own time, we're going to tuck the chin in, press the hands into the ground and slowly walk those fingers back toward the knees until we're sitting back up onto the heels. And we can either finish here, or I might encourage you to come back into easy cross-legged just to see if you notice any difference in those hips comparing to the start of the class this morning. Maybe those knees are folding out a little bit more. Maybe we can really feel those glute muscles firing here. So some kind of sensation, hopefully. We're going to sit nice and tall. Relax the shoulders, lengthening through the spine. We'll open the palms and we'll finish like we start. We're going to inhale the arms out, reach it up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out and let it go. Do that twice. And then gently bring the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourselves for creating a little bit of space in your morning to come to the mat, to look after yourself, to create some lovely energy, some lovely strength, some lovely release, and hopefully take that with you into the day and into the rest of the week ahead. Thank you for sharing your practice and your energy. Namaste.